Good evening, race fans. Welcome to the CORE Racing Network. Tonight, we head to the Paperclip, also known as Martinsville Speedway, and this little half-mile track is, I think, going to test these drivers quite a bit here tonight. It's under the lights here at Martinsville, as they recently added lights within the last couple of years, and we get to see this track under the lights. Hopefully, it brings out the best of these drivers, but a lot of times, it's short track racing, and it can get a little bit hairy. Now, tonight is a very pivotal time in our country, and I know there's people on, fans of each side, but it's all going to come down to tonight. And of course, I'm not talking about the election. I'm talking about the CORE Xfinity playoffs. Tonight is the last race of the regular season. We've got spots up for grabs, and listen, this is going to be, forget the presidential election. We got playoff racing coming up here starting next week. We'll take a look at the standings coming in here tonight, and the way it looks, I mean, we got the bronze division already wrapped up. Our 5 drivers going to be Joe Thomas, Dan Phelps, Matt Crockett, John Crane, and Jeremy Gainey. The silver division, as it stands right now, is going to be locked up with David Tilford, Tyler Bramble, Caleb Collins, Jack Stoneman, and then the final spot right now would go to Kevin Foster, as he's 2 points back, but AJ Connor's not in attendance, so unless he pulls in here late and gets in here for the race, it looks like he is going to miss out on the playoffs. In the gold division, we got a bit of a burner over there. Shane Therian looks like he's just about locked into that 4th spot. Obviously, Alan Elwood, Daniel Wiles, and Nico Garcia already locked in. But then that bubble spot, and it is close. It is 3 drivers right there. Craig Jansick currently holds the spot by 6 points. Bryce Reiner is right there, only 6 points behind. And then Mike Moultrie is right there, only 11 points behind. So it's going to be fun out here tonight, one way or another. 130 laps on tap. Carl Hamwork in the booth, joined by Jimmy Covert. Jimmy, it's about to be playoff time for these CORE Xfinity boys, but man, we got a race to develop here.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on, and this is not the track. I mean, it's a driver's track, Carl. I mean, it's the biggest paperclip, I think, in America. And you either love it or hate it. And it's going to take a lot of patience, a lot of setting up a pass, and the other driver, that's maybe somebody's coming down to their inside to pay attention as well. That we do not have live spotters, so unless somebody's lucky enough to have a friend spotting for them. So it's going to be interesting, to say the least. And we're usually up for a double header, but I think I might have to. You might be here long enough if these drivers aren't too careful.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, the presidential race has only got, really technically 2 candidates involved, but again, we have 3 candidates involved here for the gold division, and all 3 of them are going to be hungry. And actually, looking out here, just trying to see if we do actually have 3 in the mix, because I'm not seeing Mike Moultrie unless I'm missing something here. So Moultrie may be out of the running here, and it could be down to the teammates, Bryce Reiner and Craig Jansick. So it could be a 2-horse race after all. Again, we'll see if Moultrie gets in here in the next minute, because we only have 1 more minute left in qualifying before we get them underway. But yeah, I mean, this is a track that more often than not tempers flair a little bit. It's a typical short track, in the sense that it's close racing, it's tough to pass, it's a lot of bumping and banging. But here a little bit more. I mean, these corners here at Martinsville are tight.
Yeah, they're very tight corners, and you get a pretty good amount of speed coming down the straightaways, which makes it very easy to overdrive the entry of a corner. And if you've been watching some of these drivers out there practicing, if they get in the throttle too early, they're going to bring that rear end around. So it is you get all that speed, you go down in that corner, and you really got to let that car rotate in order to get a good run down to the next straightaway. And a big thing here is going to be that pit stop. I think it might come down to it, deciding, whether they want tires or whatnot. Maybe if I would have to guess, there's going to be a caution or two, so I'm not sure fuel's going to come into a big play, but it's really going to be a kind of a deciding factor. It's like, should I just get a splash of gas and go, and hopefully I gain 5 positions on the track, or should I grab them right side tires or left side tires and lose a spot or two? So there's some challenges that the drivers are going to have upcoming for tonight's race here at Martinsville, and looking forward to see how they handle those situations.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes down to it, we got 3 divisions here in the CORE Xfinity Series, and it kind of gives those front runners, those mid pack runners, and those back markers all a chance to run in the playoffs and for their respective division championship. But I mean, what is it, Jimmy, that makes this playoff, just so important to get to it? I mean, for me, it's kind of a culmination of doing well enough in the regular season to get yourself in the mix there. I mean, even if you feel like you don't have a chance, if you're one of those top 5, you have a chance.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about, how well, what was your, did you get a good enough average throughout the season, on a hard track, a good track, a bad race, a good race, and it all comes down to the end, are you in the money? Are you in that pool for a chance at the title to, carry over to next year or the next season and, run with it. So we'll see how these drivers do. It really is a racer's race here, and there has to be some patience, and there has to be some give and take here, I think, tonight, especially with 130 laps on the line.
Well, we are done with qualifying, and they are starting to grid up down here on the track. So, Jimmy, why don't you go ahead and give us a rundown for tonight's order?
Yeah, we got a quick rundown of tonight's starting order. It will be Nico Garcia and Alan Elwood up front on the front row. Then Bryce Rayner and Shane Etherean there for row number 2. Row number 3, Craig Jancic and Daniel Wiles. Row number 4, John Nobinger and Dan Phelps. Kevin Foster, it will be on row number 5 with Jack Stoneman. And then Dave Tilford and Kenny Hines back there in row number 6. Row number 7, John Bass Weston with Caleb Collins, AJ Roderick and Lewis Orduna back there on row number 8, Matt Crockett and John Crane on row number 9, and our last row will be Jeremy Gainey and Tyler Bramble bringing up the rear. So, maybe a little bit of strategy for some of the guys in the back. Maybe some of this stuff will happen, but for this race, I would hope that I got a great qualifying, because the incidents typically happen, 3 or 4 rows back from the start. So we'll see. I'm very interested here in getting this thing underway in green and see how these drivers handle tonight.
Yeah, they usually happen hot and heavy and pretty quick out here as well. So we'll keep an eye on these drivers as they get ready to go. And I mean, a couple things that really kind of jump out at me when it comes to the starting order is we got our 2 guys that are going to be fighting out for that last gold spot. Bryce Reiner, Shane Therian starting on the same row. You see him Bryce Reiner, Shane Therian, and Craig Jancic, the 3 that are yet to lock themselves in right there in 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And then, a couple more guys that are locked in right in front of them, Nico Garcia and Alan Elwood. But then the other thing is Dan Phelps, bronze driver, qualifying up here inside the top 10, qualifying in up there in P8. So really good starting spot there for the 85. So good to see. But we're about ready to go. I got 130 laps on tap here, unless we time out, because we've seen it before happen here at Martinsville. But
30 minutes.
it is time to get this thing fired off, and it's going to be in control by Barney here, waving that green flag.
Green,
and we are racing at the Martinsville Speedway.
Yeah, let's get this thing underway. Here is a good start by the front row there as they go 2 wide into turn number 1. And Nico Garcia slides up, and they're going to go 3 wide, heading down the backstretch.
Inside is Reiner looking to try and take the lead, and he is going to out of turn at number 4. Big move there, and Nico Garcia in the wall is going to allow Jancic now to move into 2nd, Wiles into 3rd. Elwood going to drop towards the back, and Nico Garcia still fighting that thing. Your pole sitter not doing too well here on these opening laps.
Yeah, it's really hard to get them tires warmed up, and once you get them too overheated, you're going to see he has some issues. And maybe a little bit of damage on that one, sliding them back to the field. We're going to have a long battle here tonight to try to get himself back to the front of the field. And he's got to do so there on the outside, as the drivers are using those fresh tires to make the pass on the inside. Right now, the wall alongside the 72 of Caleb Collins, looking to regain one of those positions back. But Caleb has the position. Can he keep it?
Big bobble there on the inside from Kenny Hines. He's going to slide back a little bit as well. side by side there as Nico Garcia is still trying to fight on the outside, just to kind of get a little a semblance of the speed again. You see these drivers all the way down there. You need to be on that concrete patch at the bottom. That is where all the grip is. There's no grip at the top. I mean, very little times do we see anybody making any kind of passes up above there, unless there's issue. And speaking of issues, luckily for Kevin Foster, AJ Connor's not here tonight, and he should be able to lock himself into the playoffs, but he is going to bring out our first caution of the night. Try and take a look back and see exactly what happened.
He just checked up for the 44 that was having some issues there in front of him, Carl. Got a little tap there by the 25, ends up setting him around.
Yeah, a little bit loose through the corner and gets a little bit of a smooch on the back there from the 25. Slides him sideways, but no damage for any of the cars. He'll get him back going once again. Seeing the 11 showing as a crash as well, but it might just be checking up for the situation here. We'll try and take a look. Because now, same thing, getting loose in the corner. So simultaneously here, we got two cars spinning sideways. A nice new paint scheme on the 11 car there for John Crane back in action here. Both of them will get back going, and we got a few takers to pit lane. And a lot of our gold drivers that start at the front, Nico Garcia obviously taking advantage of this right here and getting any kind of damage repaired if he has any. AJ Roderick in the pits, John Crane, Kevin Foster coming in. Shane Therian also coming into the pits. Now again, Shane came in with, you know, a little bit of a buffer. He should, you know, pretty much be locked in. I think with the car count here, he should be locked in. I don't think it's going to be an issue, but yeah, certainly we've seen that 3 more often than not fall back to the back, whether it's by qualifying or by, you know, this right here, and he finds his way working back towards the front by the end of the race anyway. So we'll see what Shane's got. I mean, it's not a track to try and go back to the front at for sure.
No, it's a very hard track to just get around here at a decent pace, and unless you're very skilled at managing traffic and tires and everything else that's going on, it's definitely going to be a long night for some of the drivers in the back, especially if they got some speed. But could be a pit stop strategy here. You see Kevin Foster coming back out on the pits here to maybe finish up some last minute repairs, or maybe take some either left or right side tires. And with the lap being so short, a lot of times you're tempted to take all 4 tires, but it might take you too long in the pit, so you might just do one side or the other. So we'll see how Kevin Foster kind of pans out here. Still on the lead lap here, but did take that second stop.
Yeah, and this is a track that typically you would think, you know, it's so tight through these corners that it gives you that option, as it looks like actually we're going to be going green here. Kevin Foster not even caught back up to the field yet, but we are going green. I thought we were 2 to go, but it's time to go racing here. Craig Jancic is going to lead him off down into turn number 1. 97, or sorry, Bryce Reiner in the 90 going to lead him off into turn number 1. Jancic in that second place. And the field pretty quickly getting to single file. A little bit of a battle back here in the back half of the top 10 with Caleb Collins and Kenny Hines. Kenny Hines on the outside, Collins on the inside. This is the battle for 9th and 10th.
Yeah, they're back and forth they go. We did see the 60 kind of start falling back there early on. He ducked down the inside. I don't know if he just got a little bit loose up the corner, but a little bit of check up there. It makes a 10 check up from Nico Garcia. Look there underneath there. No, I mean, sorry, that's Shane Therian. Nope, I was right.
Right, Nico Garcia.
Nico Garcia. They keep changing colors on me every now and then. I'm looking for their older paint scheme.
It's a special night scheme, apparently. It's a night scheme.
Special night paint scheme. You do get some great paints underneath the night lights sometimes, though.
Absolutely, yeah. The way these cars will just pop out with some of the spec mapping and everything like that they can do with the paints. And you see that number 1 really does look like a good paint scheme out there. But like I was saying earlier, with the tires, again, this track being a little bit tighter in the corners, you would think 2 tires would be a viable option, but we see right there with our first caution, both the 8 and the 11 spinning, and spinning just from oversteer, not getting bumped or anything like that. So that leads me to believe that 2 tires may not necessarily be an option, especially if you're running them for quite some time. You're going to be burning up all 4 of those tires, especially both the front. So the front's just taking the beating here.
Yeah, especially the right side. It's really hard to manage these tires, especially at this track. These drivers here, they do get a little bit of a break. They're only running 40% fuel, right? And then so they don't have to run like a whole 100% fuel tank and try to extend these things, past that 30 or 40 lap range.
Well, we got this thing going and rolling right now, so good job by these drivers to kind of feel it out. You expected, especially on some of these short tracks, to kind of have an early caution with everybody bunched up together. Once it gets spread out a little bit, then it's just, if there's a single car incident, which is kind of what we had. And speak of the devil, the 56 is going to slide sideways. That is A.J. Roderick. See it right there on your screen. Just kind of got a little loose going into turn number 4 there, and now he's kind of stuck as he didn't get going right away. Not sure if it was stuck in gear or what the case was, but now he is stuck at the top of the track and has to wait for the entire field to go by. He's going to go a lap down. Just a measly little spin like that.
Yeah, and he was on the outside trying to hold on to it, and maybe just a little bit too much brake or gas trying to get that thing to stick, and around he goes. And obviously trying to be safe and not get into anybody, but it's gonna cost him a lap here. So we'll see him have to work up by, and the cautions flying as quickly or as often as they can. It should be no issue getting back on that lead lap.
Yeah, not at all. And another good job by all these drivers. I know what happened at the back of the pack, but I mean, we are 2 cautions now, and no damage to speak of. I think the most damage on the night so far has probably been Nico Garcia, your pole sitter, just really washing up on those first couple laps on those cool tires, not feeling it, and he dropped back pretty far, about midway through the pack, and he's been trying to work his way back into that top 10 ever since, as he's currently in 11th position here on the night. A few more takers here, pit road. Kevin Foster, John Crane, Jeremy Gainey, Shane Therian, and A.J. Roderick all taken to pit lane this time. But yeah, I mean, like you mentioned, Jimmy, even under caution here, if you're at the back of the pack, it's a long time to change those 4 tires, and it gets pretty sketchy if you're going to go down a lap just sitting in pit lane.
Yeah, it's not, not somewhere that where I want to be. So it's definitely something that needs to happen, and you have to change them tires, but it's just, how do you do it? You take 1 stop, 2 stop, and you see, obviously Kevin Foster back there trying to make sure all his damage is taken care of. You don't want to burn up your fast repair. And if you're like me, I had a dang thing on automatic, so I got to remember to click it off instead of on, because more times than not, when you're usually coming to pits, you're already mad at yourself or somebody else, and you forget to check that box to fix your car. So I tend to leave it on, but definitely some drivers choose to have it off. So you might pull in pits, will want that fast repair, and it's not there, or if it's automatically on, you accidentally use it for a small dent, which you really don't need a beautiful car here at Martinsville. You just need one that doesn't have steering problems and no down power.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of one of those damned if you do, damned if you don't situations. I mean, when it comes to having that checked, if you're going to take that fast repair or not, I mean, you're better off kind of accidentally using it rather than coming in there and not having it checked, and all of a sudden it goes from second to fix your car to maybe 17 minutes of repairs. So it's kind of one of those, yeah, you're pissed that you used it when you didn't have to, but it's those situations where all of a sudden you've got a ton of minutes of required damage that could have been fixed in the blink of an eye, and now you're sitting there waiting. But we're not going to wait too much longer. We're going to get this thing back underway. It's going to be Bryce Reiner and Craig Jansick on the front row, and we are racing again here at Martinsville.
Yeah, 2x2 away they go, and this is going to be probably the last time I think that they're 2 wide, but definitely bunches them back.
Bobble there in the back with Jeremy Gainey and John Crane, I believe. But everybody got to get back going here. I'll tell you what, as much hate as I give this track, and will deserve a lot of times, but I gotta say, it's pretty sexy under the lights.
Yeah, it's not bad to look at it underneath the light. It has to deal with the drivers out there and choosing the right livery or paint how to put on their car to show them out there and track around. I'll watch them as they go around and around here tonight. So right now doing a pretty decent job here. While I'm at 25 or 130, Bryce Rayner is out front over Craig Jansen and Alan Elwood. Daniel Wiles, Jack Stoneman, John Woodward, Dave Tilford, Josh Van Weston, Nico Garcia, finally doing anything just took over with Josh Van Weston, and Kenny Hines are the top 10.
Nico Garcia hasn't made his way back up into the top 10. He's making that second line work, and certainly if you can carry that speed, really mid-corner is where you're looking at, and we've got a bit of a bunch up here, and you see a bit of a traffic jam here as the 44 and 48 will get him turned back around here. Take a look at what might have brought this one out. The 44 getting in there deep, gets on the apron, comes up and collects the 48s in the process. And then they just, unfortunately, they're parked exactly the wrong way. Hard impact there for the 73 of Luis Orduna. And really kind of nothing, unfortunately, that he can do here as hop on board here with the 73 and show you how quick you can take a boatload of damage. You can see, you barely see it on your screen. He's locked up and does everything he can, but hard impact there. Lucky for him that the hood actually stayed down. You see that thing is not really connected, but I mean, Jimmy, you can attest. We've seen it before. Where those hoods come up and you're literally, I mean, if you're in VR, you can literally, you know, kind of tilt your head to the side and look out the window. But otherwise, I mean, you're looking at a hood and you got just about an inch to look through to find the pit road entrance, or just kind of looking at those red and white lines at the bottom of the screen just to see where you got to go. It's not fun.
Yeah, I have a hard enough time getting around here with nothing on my windshield, let alone a hood. So, as it stands, again, you take a look at these points coming in here in regards to the gold division, and it's still plenty interesting. I mean, obviously we got a ton of laps yet. We're just coming up on lap number 30, so we've got about 100 laps left in this race. But as it stands, the man that is below the cut line right now, Reiner, is leading the man that's right above the cut line, Jancic, and granted it's only 2 points difference in regards to the positions from first to second, but you got the bonus points that come into play. You got the laps led that come into play, or a lap led that comes into play. I mean, there's a lot that can swing things, and really being up front, especially at a track like this, to try and have a chance at a clean race and try and have a chance at any kind of bonus points. I mean, these drivers get anywhere from 5 bonus points to none for how clean they've kept it throughout the entire race. So, I mean, there's a lot that can come into play, but Reiner's doing what he's got to do right now. He's out there, he's leading the race, and he's got a chance at least at making this field here for the top 5. He's got a teammate right there now on the outside of him to restart this thing one more time. Yeah, bunch them back up, getting ready back to go here as they continue to follow pace car around, and hopefully they don't have to do it too many times, but it does become a little bit better when you're sitting out there out front knowing that you can get some clean laps in.
Hop on board here with Matt Crockett here on the start of this race, and give you an idea of how hectic and chaotic it is here at Martinsville.
Green, green, green.
Oh, a little bit of slinky action.
And here, not even fully up to speed by the time you're getting in that first corner, and that's where it gets tricky. You want to try and get all the way up to, to your normal gears if you can. You get up to 4th gear by the time you get into that corner, just so you can kind of get right into a flow of this race. Otherwise, it's going to be putting you out here like it is. As you see Shane Theory going down to the inside, making a pass for 9th place. But Jimmy, talk about on these short tracks how important it is to kind of get right back in the groove as quick as you can, because you mess up one little time, you get put on the outside, and you can just get freight trained.
Yeah, one little mistake can cost you, 5, 6, 7 positions, depending on how fast you can kind of get your car back under control. And you really got to set up the individual for a pass. And as you can see back there with Shane Theory, and now getting down to the inside of the 120 or 121. John Van Weston. So and you can see that he's stuck on the outside. Now Caleb Collins was not close enough to take advantage of that, but he would have had his nose down the inside. Basically, you get stuck on that outside. And, unlike some tracks, the outside is really not where you want to be through the corners here at Martinsville.
I want to thank everybody for tuning in here tonight. As a 60 Kenny Hines was a little bit wide there during the next another pass, but if you haven't done so yet, hit that like, subscribe, get you in touch with everything it's here and has to offer. We have the oval doubleheader, as we always do here on Tuesday nights of the CORE Xfinity Series. And right afterwards, we have UCRL. Tonight, going to be at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for a good one there. But as you see, we are back under caution here, and yeah, it looks like the 56 here of AJ Roderick might have brought this one out. Back here, you remember the 73 in the last one wasn't involved. Oh man, it looked like a good amount of net code. We'll take it back and look at that one more time. It looks like the 45 swiped on the back of the 56, or net code kind of did the swiping for him. Pretty close in the corner, and yeah, maybe just, if anything, just the slightest of little taps right there sends the 56 around. No one else is able to get around and go to the outside. And this time, at least 56 gets back into gear quickly and won't go down another lap. Bring it back live, and we still, I believe Roderick did get his lap back on the last caution there, so we should still have all 20 cars on the lap. And again, we've had some cautions, but aside from the 73 on the previous caution, getting into the 44, haven't really had too much damage. And I think it's a testament to these drivers, really being aware and knowing how quickly things can happen here at Martinsville, and being able to avoid these spun cars. And I mean, this one here, maybe a little bit of help there from the 45, but ultimately, it's just it's a lot of cars just kind of getting sideways. It feels like that right rear is really on edge tonight.
Yeah, I mean, they're just having a hard time getting on that throttle without putting too much into where it's snapping around. So these cars tend to be a little more looser than they used to be the first couple of years when I raced these cars, but typically they were a little bit on the pushy side, but they seem to have loosened them up just a little bit, so probably a good thing for a lot of drivers, and that's probably why they're one of the more popular series around the series, or the iRacing series.
These car lights are going to go off one more time. We got 90 laps to go right now, so still plenty of racing to get going here. I mean, once they get green here, the laps do click off pretty quickly here, with the fast laps being right around the 20-second range. So I mean, you're getting 3 laps done in a minute, so it'll fly by pretty quickly. But we haven't had a really decent green run just yet. We've had a few cautions here by us with spun cars. We had one where the 44 kind of got in a little bit too deep into the 48, and then we had this last one here where just maybe a little bit of a brush on the back end caused the caution. But we're going to go back to racing here again at Martinsville. Nice jump there from the 90 of Reiner, as he's going to lead him off in turn number 1. Jancic right behind him. And you got Elwood, Stoneman, Garcia for your top 5, as Nico is back up there. And that one has got some speed here tonight for sure.
Yeah, definitely working his way back to the front, and he has had to miss a few little incidents, but now he's back up there with a lot of the drivers that are typically up in the front during these races, so I have to work a little bit harder. We're a little bit too wide action towards the middle of the pack, I see. Just out of the corner of my eye.
Yep, yeah, Kevin Foster. Oh! Big miss there, as it looks like the 85 and 45 kind of getting together there a little bit, sliding up the track. It's right behind the battle we were just watching between Kevin Foster, Daniel Wiles, and Caleb Collins, as Foster and Wiles trying to move their way back up into the top 10. after being involved in their own little issues here early on. Collins going a bit wide and giving up each spot to move up there. But out front, it is Reiner, Jancic, Elwood, Stoneman, and Garcia that are leading from the front, and we've still had plenty of drivers that have yet to come into the pits for any kind of pit stops. Right now, it looks like we got half the field, 11 cars that have yet to come in at all for any kind of fuel, any kind of tires. Now, these drivers will have to pit at least once here for fuel. As we see the 10 getting sideways, and that's going to bring out another caution. And man, these right rear tires, after you get about 10 laps in, not even that, actually looks like about 7 laps in, they just get angry.
I mean, it's a lot of heat going into these things, even at here. But it looks like just maybe a little too hard on the brakes, maybe just a little too much brake bias. I know a lot of drivers are trying to move the brake bias back. A good thing Matt Crocker stayed on their brakes. There's somebody just really missed them going by.
Yeah, I mean, I feel as loose as these cars are now, that on a track like this, you're almost kind of driving them like dirt cars. You're almost kind of driving them like you're on a dirt oval, and a lot of times you're going to have that right rear kind of sticking out there a little bit, and it's working that throttle and feeling the brake point, meaning the point where the tires are going to break loose in the case here for the asphalt side of it, and you really have to be right on that edge. And unfortunately, you gun it just a little bit much, you just get a little bit happy feet, and that's what's going to happen. That back end's going to come around pretty quickly, and it doesn't seem like these cars are really able to be saved too easily here tonight. I don't think we've seen really anybody save it at all. Maybe Kevin Foster on that first incident could have saved it if he didn't get the little tap from behind, but I mean, short of him, we haven't seen anybody that's gotten sideways at this point save it, short of getting up there in the wall.
Yeah, I haven't seen anybody quite save it where you're able to continue going forward without kind of moving to the back of the pack. I think the 60 was the only one, I think, kind of bobble coming off a corner and was able to catch it. And obviously, he didn't duck down to the low side, let some cars go by. But other than that, everybody is spun us sideways and had to kind of wait their turn in order to pull down on the traffic and keep going.
So we look at the two guys on the track right here, and these are legitimately the guys battling for the last spot in the playoffs, as we mentioned multiple times here for the gold division. And it's really kind of a tale of two different seasons so far. Jancic has been up at the front pretty much the entire season. He's got 2 wins under his belt, but he doesn't have that kind of gap that he needs coming into this last race of the regular season. Reiner doesn't have any wins on the season. He's got less top 5s, but he's got more top 10s. Jancic comes in having 8 of 12 top 10s from the races that he's been in, where Reiner has got 10 of 12. And that's kind of the difference. It's just a little bit more consistency inside the top 10, and doesn't have those races that kind of really took a hit from. Obviously, these drivers have the drop races that come into play, but I think Jancic has had just one too many rough races that I'd put him on that bubble right now. I mean, it's very minuscule. As we said, it's only 6 points coming into tonight, and that's not enough to feel any kind of comfort, even running in second right here. And even if it's your teammate out there, obviously, these guys are probably discussing strategies week in and week out, but at the end of the day, one of them's going to make the playoffs, one of them's not.
Yeah, and it's going to figure out who's going to survive tonight to make it there.
Well, we are doubled up once again here. Going to get this thing going as we're now down to 69 laps to go, and still a lot of racing here. Or actually, 79 laps to go. There we go. Had to do a quick little math in there. But we are going to get back going here again. The 90 gets a nice little jump enough that he's going to be able to hold on to that inside with the 5 of Elwood. Going to close off second place and try and mix it up here with these boys up front. That is indeed a big wreck, and still wrecking behind as they can't get checked up in time. This is officially our first one that is really going to have these drivers needing to use some fast repairs
Oh, still parking lots. Lead just coming around, waiting around. You see everybody checking up. Everybody's still trying to get going.
You see right
The
there.
field, it comes to a stop.
The 25 and the 1 get together. The 3 gets involved. The 60 gets involved. 73, it looks like he sneaks on by, but the 85 and the 8 get involved as well. And really, it's just kind of started. It looks like the 10 gets involved there. The 72 and the 11 get involved. Actually, the 10 gets a big shot there at the end of it by the 56. But we'll take a look at how that came out one more time. And I'm not sure if it's the 1 drifting up, if it's the 25 coming down. But you see right there, almost maybe even a little net code involved to start that thing. And the 1, unfortunately, just gets hooked straight across the nose of the 25. And, I mean, Jimmy, we talked about, you want to be up there at the front, and a lot of times it happens, 2, 3, 4 rows back. This happened from 3rd place, or actually 4th place on back. And this took out a few of our top drivers here to start off this race.
Yeah, and Nico Garcia just quite wasn't clear as he was drifting up there in front of the 25. And just chain reaction of events, obviously, as a lot of the drivers are trying to sneak on by, and Kevin Foster nowhere to go. Just all kinds of things. I did see John Crane slide sideways tandemly with the 72, and they never touched. So I think John Crane maybe has some angry tires, but definitely no damage to the 11 on that one.
Well, certainly, once again, good that AJ Connor's not in attendance here tonight, as Kevin Foster not exactly having a good night so far here at Martinsville, having the slide sideways early on in the race, and now he's got a bit of damage that he needs to get repaired on that 8 machine before he gets back out there. But as it stands, we're now down to 12 drivers on the lead lap, as we got a couple that are going to get their wave rounds here. Caleb Collins, Jeremy Gainey in front of our leaders right now. They'll get the wave round. And then the back half of the field, all at least 1 lap down, and some certainly licking their wounds after that one. But again, we're not even halfway yet. We're just about coming up on halfway. Hopefully we'll get to it on the next green flag lap, but it looks like we're going to have it extended 1 more lap here to get everything kind of straightened up here. It takes a little bit of time for these drivers to get their wave around and catch back up to the field, so I want to give them kind of ample time to actually catch the field and get queued up here. But again, on the front row, it's going to be Bryce Reiner. Alan Elwood now is on the 2nd spot. Craig Jancic shuffled back to 3rd. Penny Hines now up to 4th. Josh Van Wessen up to 5th. Daniel Wiles back up into the top 10 in 6th. Luis Ordonia. Tyler Bramble up into the top 10 in 8th place. Dave Tilford and Caleb Collins going to round out your top 10.
Yeah, how about Tyler Bramble up 12 spots, starting in the back, kind of finds himself in the 8th. So, and that's just right spot, right time, and take your time, get there when you can get there. And sometimes all it takes is a little bit of patience, and just kind of let the race kind of unfold, and hopefully you can stay out of trouble.
And maybe a little preview of what it's going to look like in the Silver Division for the playoff series. You see 2 of the big players here, the 39 of Tyler Bramble and the 12 of Dave Tilford on your screen right now. They've been kind of the top 2 guys, but we're going to get this thing back green as Reiner's going to lead him off 1 more time. He's on the loud pedal, and we are racing again here at Martinsville. Great restart from that inside line as Jancic's going to go to battle here with the 5. I know he wants to get up there. I know he wants to be up there with his teammate and make sure he doesn't have that many cars in between. But Elwood's got nothing to lose. He's got his spot in the playoffs locked up. He's got 5 wins already on the season. Real tight coming off the corner right there. And, I mean, he's going to do battle. He wants to get up there and try and get a 6th win. It's more bonus points to start the playoffs. And he is going to fight for this 2nd position. He's going to clear him down the backstretch. But Jancic sends it in there. A little bit of rubbing there for 2nd place. And, again, I know Jancic wants to be up there. But we're just coming to halfway right now. He's going to make sure he has a car that can keep himself in the playoff running. Oh, that was a tight squeeze right there.
And that's Elwood just kind of noticing probably what's going on. Is probably just kept it close there, and 97 of 97 Jancic almost took himself out.
Still tight battles. Now they swap spots as the 5 now on the inside, trying to get the pass done. And all this is doing is allowing Reiner to stretch out here a little bit, about 6-7 tenths of a second out in front. It doesn't sound like much, but here at Martinsville, you know, good 5 car lengths is certainly nice to have. But we got another caution, and it was tight there, but Elwood just barely had the spot the way it looks at the caution flag. This one looks like it's going to involve Caleb Collins and John Crane towards the back. Take a look at this one here. As the 11 gets a little loose, gets in to the apron, and comes up and unfortunately collects a 72 along the way. It doesn't look like too much damage for either car, as both of them will get back going, but it's going to bring us under another caution. And now we see the mass exit from the track, and we're going to see, I think, a lot of our front runners coming in the pits here. Reiner, Elwood, Jancic into the pits, Van Wessen, Wiles, Gini, Collins, all coming into the pits right here. Looks like Kenny Hines, Luis Ordonia, and Tyler Bramble going to stay out, as will Dave Tilford and Shane Therian. So it's certainly going to shake things up here. But I'm not surprised, Jimmy. We're right at the halfway point. Time to come in and get some fresh tires. You made it last for the whole first run there. But, you know, and because of that, you know, this is the first set of tires they're taking. So they got another set in the bank for that second half of the race. And it can pay some dividends here. It's a heck of a battle off of the pit lane. And, man, I mean, it doesn't get much closer than that. But it looks like Alan Elwood is going to get the spot coming off the pit road. Reiner going to come out in second, and Jansen get third out of that 3-way battle. But, wow.
Talk about wanting the spot up front by those 3, but till they get off the pit road there. And, you know, it's kind of, you know, with some of the drivers staying out, Carl, it traps the back part of the field still one lap down. So all but one will get around for that lucky dog. So unless they're involved in the incidents, but yeah, it traps some of these drivers down. Now you have some of these newer front runners now back in the middle of the pack. So, you know, they got newer tires, they're already fast, but now they have to work traffic. There's a big difference with what's going to go on here instead of staying out, but they needed to come in. But it's not a bad call by some of the drivers up front, because an accident can happen, and it could be one of those lead drivers that find themselves towards the back of the pack.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice that they were able to make it half the race without having to come into the pits, but one way or another, they're going to find themselves in the middle of the pack at some point during this race. And luckily for them, it's only from 4th place on back. The way it looks is Elwood's going to come out in 4th, Reiner in 5th, Jancic in 6th. So really some minimal damage there. It looks like it is going to be Jeremy Gainey that got the wave around this time. And we'll have 13 cars on the lead lap. But, I mean, this has been a bit of a mix-up left and right here at the front of the pack. We got some new players at the front. New leader is the 73 of Luis Ordona, and you seen him earlier have his hood just flapping in the breeze as he got into the side of the 44. He's got it all cleaned up, and now he's got it at the front of the pack. Tyler Bramble was the only car that did not put a lap time down, whether that was by choice or by the walls helping. He did not put a lap time down, so he started shotgun on the field. He's now in 2nd. Dave Tilford, your points leader in the silver division, coming in. He's now in 3rd. Gold division points leader Alan Elwood in 4th, as we're going to get them fired off once again.
Green, green, green.
And bit of a late jump there from the inside line. It's going to bunch everybody up, and that is going to cause some issues on the backstretch. Big bottleneck there. And that is it is the prerogative of the 73. You see the 39 on the outside trying to time that jump, but the 73 waited till the last minute there in the restart zone to get going.
Yeah, and it's kind of stinks when drivers do that. And obviously,
take a look at the restart here.
But I believe, I don't know if the rules are on, but I know a lot of what caught me, one of the officials that I ran calls that you have to maintain a speed to restart, or you end up getting black flags. So, and it's in my restart zone. So I really obviously wait till the last minute to get going, and a little over overzealous by the 39, but did a decent job and did check a lot of people up.
Well, the other big thing that we didn't talk about, of course, we talk about the bonus points that are available. The other thing that we did not talk about is the possibility of penalties. And this one right here appeared to be involving the 97. Not gonna, you know, it's up to the admins after the race to decide who caused what. But I mean, again, we'll take a look at this one more time here, and of course, it puts you back live here. But yeah, we'll take a look at this one more time coming through the corner, and you see that 97 all on the side there. But it looks like, yeah, it's tough to call if it was the 5 getting into the 12. Or if it was a 97 getting into 12, but this causes a pretty big pileup here on the backstretch. The 90 getting involved, the 60 getting involved, the 48, the 45. Tons of cars that get wrecked here.
Yeah, we'll see what the 73 does this time by as obviously off to another restart. So we'll see if he ends up checking up some of the field again. Or if that outside is going to want to go, and you know, at that point, I think once it goes green, the outside car can pass.
Yes, it can. Yeah. It's once it's green, it's green. It's up to the leader if he wants to go essentially before that. He has the option in the restart zone to go as soon as that restart zone starts, or by the end of the restart zone. But I think usually by the end of that restart zone is where the green flag comes out anyway. So it's essentially, you know, his choice from the beginning of the restart zone to the green flag when he wants to go. But if he doesn't go by the green flag, the outside line can make the pass. But it really, I think the 39 maybe going a little early on that outside is what everyone was looking at, and now looking at the guys in front of him on that restart, and certainly got bunched up a little bit. We got a couple guys in pit lane, and one of them is your pole sitter, and that is Nico Garcia. He is banged up pretty good. Looks like his night may end up being done, so it's a good thing he's already locked in. Same goes for the 48. He's going to be quite a few laps down now. Looks like he's 4 laps down as it stands. He's going to come rolling back out here with a cleaned up car. And you never know. We've had quite a few cautions here, so he can maybe get back on this lead lap and still play a factor in this. But as it stands, it is Arduna and Elwood on the front row. We'll see when Arduna decides to go this time.
Green, green, green.
And there we go. An earlier jump on this one. Little cleaner start from everybody as they'll head off into turn number 1. Duna slides up a little bit. That gives Chancing a bit of a run, and another
Caution, yellow flag.
situation a little bit slow coming out of the corner, and now everybody bunches up on the backstretch as it looked like the 73 was going to get straightened back out, but then he got another tap as the pace car just drives right through him. I mean, that was kind of dirty, Jimmy.
Barney's brother out there doing what he needs to get done. Get out of my way. Speaking about getting out of my way, unfortunately, Carl, I need to hop a flight over down to Indianapolis. Gotta get things rolling for the drivers over there with UCRL, so they're gonna tackle that little bit larger track with a Gen 4 car. So looking forward to seeing another great race at the Brickyard. And obviously, you got your hands full with a lot of decisions here tonight, and definitely you see some of the drivers kind of falling back, but maybe some being able to get back on that lead lap now. I see David Tilford and John Crane kind of waiting their turn to maybe get one of those, or a wave around there in front of the 73. So we'll see how everything goes here tonight. Look forward to watching the rest of it on a replay, or maybe out of the corner of my eye here as I'm on my flight over to Indy. But wish all the drivers the best of luck, and I still hate short tracks.
And Martinsville in particular, for sure. Yeah, you head off to that track that's it's just a mere 5 times as big as tonight there at Indianapolis. But yeah, I'll be joining you as soon as this one is over and wrapped up. And again, you know, even with all these cautions, we're coming up on lap number 80 here, so going to be 50 laps to go here pretty soon. And eventually, you're going to start to see cars not be able to be running. I mean, you see Nico Garcia still in the pits. John Nomier had a decent amount of damage. Looks like Arduna going to come into the pits this time. Jancic is going to be your new leader, and that is pretty big, given that Bryce Reiner is coming into the pits. Looks like he's got maybe a little bit of damage on that front end, right in the middle. Unless the lights are just playing tricks on my eyes here, but he's certainly some damage on the back end. Now again, as Jimmy mentioned earlier, you don't need a clean car here at Martinsville. I mean, it's gonna probably get scuffed up and bumped up and nicked up here and there for sure. But you need something that still handles the way it should, and it's still got that speed to get up and get off the corners, or you're just gonna get run over by some of these other cars. But looks like we are going to have 10 guys left on the lead lap. So these wrecks are certainly starting to pile up for some of these drivers, and it's going to take a little bit of going here to get back in the mix of things. As it stands, 10 guys on the lead lap. Then we got another 4 1 lap down. Foster is 2 laps down. Wiles 3, as is John Crane, and got quite a few drivers still in pit lane getting some repairs done. So maybe down to 16 drivers, as that's how many are out there on the track currently. But Jancic and Elwood are the ones in the front row. We've certainly seen them doing some battling lately. We'll see what they got in store for us on this restart.
Green flag, green flag.
Big jump by the 97 on the inside. He will lead Elwood into turn number 1. 3 wide battle down the backstretch, Therian to the inside. Bramble's going to back out of it. Collins going to be on the outside as Therian gets the inside rumble strip there a little bit, but it's still going to be enough to hold on to 6th place. Not sure what happened here to the 12. If he's got a penalty or what the case is, but he is in pit lane. More battling here in the back of the field as Wiles gets a little bit loose there. Collects it back up. Battle back here as Caleb Collins now slipping back. Rough corner for him is going to push him towards the back of the top 10 now. Reiner looked to get to the inside, and now he's got a bit more of an opening as he's trying to work his way back up towards the front. Alan Elwood has gotten around Greg Jancic for the lead, and we'll take a look at how that transpired here as Elwood on the inside. They did some battling for about a lap, but then Elwood was able to make the pass and clear the 97 for the lead. You see it right there as we come back live and show you Reiner back here in 10th place. The first car 1 lap down is we actually have 9 cars on the lead lap now. That's right, because Topher now in the pits. He's got some he had some issues there as he is now 3 laps down. 50 seconds. I'm guessing that was some kind of penalty that he had to take. But as it stands right now, it is Elwood, Jancic, Stoneman, Therian, and Hines for your top 5. Bramble, Van Weston, Crockett, Collins, and Reiner are going to round out the top 10. Battles on the track. The other close battle is up at the front of the field as Elwood again has gotten to the lead but has not exactly checked out. We really haven't had anybody check out so far in this race other than Reiner when he was in the lead earlier when these two were battling each other for 2nd place. But we really haven't had that much of a chance as now it looks like Tyler Bramble involved in a bit of an incident here. It's going to bring us under another caution. Just getting loose by himself, and honestly for that little spin that's kind of annoying that is a yellow flag, because he got right back going right away. didn't even fully get sideways. I don't even think he was all the way sideways, but nonetheless, it's going to bring us under another caution here on lap number 90. And we are getting closer to the end here, and playoff pictures are starting to look a little clearer. Obviously, the bronze, as we mentioned, already locked up. The silver already locked up with Kevin Foster being here tonight and AJ Collins not being here tonight. But in the gold, it's still up for grabs. It's still far from over yet. Shane Therian looks like he's in a very good position to lock himself in, as he had a pretty nice size buffer of 37 points over the cut line coming into tonight. And then you got the battle between Reiner and Jancic for that last spot. Right now, Jancic sitting in second place, and Reiner sitting in ninth. So certainly some work to do, but some guys coming into the pits here. It's going to shake up the order one more time. And taking a look at the standings, it looks like we should have 10 guys back on the lead lap. We'll see once it gets back going here if Collins indeed got that lap back, and it looks like he is going to come out, and yeah, we will have 10 guys back on the lead lap. Very big for Reiner to be back there on the lead lap as well. And in there, possibly getting some fresh tires to try and make a run at this thing, as he's got quite a few drivers to get along by, but at least he's now going to be battling them for position and has a chance once again at the playoffs here. As we still got plenty of laps yet to go, as we're still looking at about 36 laps left in this race. Thank everybody out there again for tuning in. And if you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe. Get you in touch with everything that CRN has to offer. As once again, we got the doubleheader tonight. We got this one here at Martinsville for the CORE Xfinity Series. And then coming up next here at the top of the hour, UCRL is going to take the Gen 4s to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Literally 5 times as big as the track here tonight, so a little bit higher speeds for sure. As we're going to get this thing back fired off here. Alan Elwood back on the loud pedal. A bit of a stumble on the inside line there from the 39 on back, but it looks like we're going to get this thing fully under green. Everybody getting back going here, and looks like we might have had some issues here at the back. It might have just been at the start.
The yellow flag is out.
And indeed, we are going to have a yellow 73 sideways and the 90 sideways. I believe that is what started this yellow. We'll take a look at it one more time. Yeah, I don't see anybody else involved. So I'm thinking it was the little spin there by the 90 and the 73. It's going to bring us under another quick caution here, and we go back live. Looks like Matt Crockett is going to bring the 10 in from that top 10. It's not a bad position to be in right now. If you're one of those guys, you know, like Matt Crockett, bronze driver up here, one of the few drivers left on the lead lap, but he is still in the top 10, and he kind of gets a free pit stop here to do what he wants. He's going to stay in the top 10. He's going to stay on that lead lap. Looks like Ben Phelps is going to be the lucky dog, so we'll give us 11 drivers excuse me, back on that lead lap. And slowly but surely, we're gaining some more back on there as we're going to cross the line this time and start lap number 100. But I think just a typical thing here in Martinsville, being Martinsville, and it's tight quarters, and any closeness by these drivers is being punished. These cars are already on edge with that right rear wanting to spin out at the, if you look at it the wrong way. And we've seen drivers do that by themselves quite a bit here tonight. This one, a couple drivers involved in the incident, spinning sideways to get us under another caution here. And this time we're going to have 30 laps to go. Hopefully we get some more green flag laps to finish this thing out, as we're getting a little bit late here in the running for sure. Shouldn't be any issues getting this thing in time-wise. Again, they got an hour and a half maximum to get the laps in here. It's clicking away, I think, quick enough under caution to even be it's good to go here. But 2 laps until we get this thing going green. It's going to be 28 laps to go once we take that green flag. Driver's going to double it up here one more time and hopefully get this thing back going, as it's going to be Alan Elwood and Jack Stoneman on the front row. Craig Jancic, Shane Therian on row number 2, and hopefully we get a green flag run here to finish this thing out, as once again coming to the line here, it is going to be 28 laps to go. Elwood heads into the Geico restart zone, and we are racing again here at Martinsville. The 5 getting a nice jump, the 97 fighting with the 25 for second place. And now Stoneman has got the 3 on the inside, as well as Therian getting up there in the mix. A little bit loose there, and a good save. One of the only saves we've seen tonight with the car getting loose. He's going to lose that position, fall back into 4th place. Tyler Bramble stuck on the outside here of Kenny Hines, going to be sliding backwards just a little bit as the battle for 8th position. Tries to get back to the inside, but Daniel Wiles now occupies that spot, as Wiles is still 3 laps down, trying to make his way back up here one way or another. Back to the inside of the 39. Behind these guys, the 73 now peeks his nose to the inside of the 39. Giving a little contact, as the 73 did get up there to the front and lead a lap earlier. And now he's trying to work his way back up towards the front of this field. Currently 1 lap down. He will be the lucky dog if a yellow were to come out, as long as he's not a part of that yellow. As he gets up there a little bit high, maybe gets into the wall. And now he's going to get freight trained by a couple of drivers. Thought I heard some bumping and banging going on, but it looks like everything is still heading in the right direction, as Alan Elwood still leads here at the front. Craig Jancic, Jack Stoneman, Shane Therian, and Josh Van Westen for your top 5. Reiner back up into 6th position. 7th is Caleb Collins, Kenny Hines, Tyler Bramble, and Matt Crockett round out your top 10. As a pass for 3rd place, Therian goes to the inside of Stoneman. He is going to make that pass. Both these drivers in their respective divisions looking to be making the playoffs here. Neither of them technically locked in, but with the amount of drivers here tonight and their position currently, they're pretty much a lock to make the playoffs here. And Therian came in 37 points above the cut line. Stoneman 47 points above his cut line, so certainly looking to be into their divisional playoffs. At the front, it's starting to get a little closer here is Therian, looking to try and get up to Jancic and maybe take a run yet at Alan Elwood before this thing is over, as Therian does have one win on the season, but again, these drivers do get bonus points for the playoffs if they're able to grab wins here. And right now, the only driver that is not a Gold Division driver and a guy that's locked into the Gold Division playoffs that has a win is Jack Stoneman. As it looks like we're going to be under another caution here. This one involving the 11. This might have been another situation, just kind of losing it by himself. And yeah, you see the car just stepping out as he enters the corner. Tries to save it, but it snaps hard back to the right. And again, another situation there where sometimes live admins are good to have when it comes to calling some of these cautions. Just that one right there. It's nice for the 11 that he got the caution called, but it really shouldn't have been a caution there. It's just a little bit of a bobble. We'll send this thing back under yellow. And that's going to bunch everybody back up one more time. And this time it's going to be Therian right there on the back bumper of the 5. As long as Elwood chooses the inside, I don't think anybody has the cojones to take the outside on the restart here and try and make something happen. As you see, Luis Wanduna going to get that lap back, and we will have 12 drivers back on the lead lap. Kevin Foster will be the next in line for Lucky Dogs, but he is 2 laps down, so we're going to need some major luck here in these waiting laps to get back on the lead lap and have any chance of moving up and maybe having a fight at the top 10. But again, he is locked in the playoffs as it stands with AJ Counters not here, so only about half the season that Kevin Foster was able to run in the beginning here, as this is his 9th race. But it's enough to get him into the Silver Division playoffs and grab that in the 5th and final spot. And he's going to be a threat for sure to make this very interesting. And really, I mean, you look at all these divisions going into the playoffs. The bronze, we've seen good races by all 5 of the drivers that are there to be into the playoffs. The silver division, I mean, Tilford, Bramble, Collins have all had their good races. Stoneman has got a win. Foster again, he's going to be a threat depending on how the races kind of pan out for him to finish out the season. And then the gold division. I mean, Elwood's got the most wins on the season. Wiles has been very consistent right there at the top. He's got a win. Garcia obviously has shown plenty of speed. Had the speed here tonight, qualified on the pole, but just caught up in a few wrecks. But he's got a win heading into the playoffs. Therian is going to be locked in as it stands here. He's got a win. And then Jancic right now is the 5th and final spot. He's got 2 wins. So, I mean, obviously, every driver right now in the gold division that's qualified for the playoffs has got to win at least one. So it's going to be a fun fight here in the playoffs. And again, the way the playoffs are set up is it's a little bit different here in the CORE Xfinity Series, as once they complete tonight, they will head to the playoffs, and it's going to be 4 races: Phoenix, Daytona, Bristol, and Homestead. And each of the drivers will have 1 drop race within that round. So their top 3 races will count, and that'll move on. The top 3 for each division will go to the championship round at Auto Club. We got to decide this one yet. Alan Elwood back on the loud pedal, racing again here at Martinsville, and Jancic quick to dive down to the bottom, cover off that inside in front of Therian. Still some battling back here. Reiner trying to move himself up into the mix here, dives it in, locks up the front tires, getting into the turn, trying to stay on the inside there of Stoneman. Still a battle for 4th position. Stoneman blinking out there a little bit. We'll get on to Reiner here so you can see what's going on. But Reiner still has his hopes set on a playoff run, and man, what a story would that be if Jancic, with 2 wins on the season, ends up getting knocked out of the playoffs from his teammate, the 90 of Reiner. So a lot can happen here. Certainly, we've seen Caleb Collins getting a little bit loose. Towards the back, we've got
caution, yellow flag.
We've got a few cars. Looks like Tilford and Arduna were sideways here. And it looked like it might have stayed green there for a bit, but then once the 12 got rolling there again, it's going to bring us under another caution. We'll take a look at what happened between these two. Oh, a bit of a, I'm not sure what was going on that outside there. I'll take that back here again a little bit. I mean, there was the wrecking in front. That's what it was. 121 and the 72 may have started this. So let's take a look back and see what may have happened on this one. Looks like the 121 looking for a gap there on the outside. 72 not realizing it until it was too late. Gets them sideways. They got it cleared up, but that kind of bottlenecked everybody on that outside. And both Tilford and Orduna getting involved in this one to bring out another caution here. It's going to rack them up one more time. I mean, it's certainly fun for us up here, getting quite a few restarts here, and it certainly gets a little jacked up here on the restarts. But now we've got second place Greg Jancic, fourth place Bryce Reiner, right behind each other, and this could get very interesting here on the restart again. Teammates, yes. There's a playoff spot on the line here, so we'll see how this thing finishes out. We're under 10 laps to go, though, so whatever happens, it's going to have to happen pretty quickly here. And we'll see how this all plays out. Again, you have the bonus points if any of these drivers have a clean race or anything close to it. There's maybe some bonus points on the line for that. You have the bonus point for leading the lap, but after that, there's no other bonus points. But there are penalty points, so it all depends on if it's a major collision. There could be some penalty points along the lines. I mean, these drivers, can get license penalty points on their license, but if the crash is bad enough, there are points taken away from them as well. So we'll see if that ends up coming into play for the final playoff spots here tonight. But as it stands right now, it is Elwood, Jancic, Therian, Reiner, Stoneman for your top 5. Then you got Hines, Crockett, Van Weston, Bramble, and Phelps for your top 10. So we got 2 Bronze Division drivers up here in the top 10. We got 2 silver drivers up there in the top 10 as well. Kenny Hines is the lone rookie up there in 6th place. Still has yet to have his 5 races in here to lock him into one of the divisions here tonight. But we've got 2 of the big players, the 2 guys with the most wins on the season on the front row. Alan Elwood with 5 wins on the season, and Craig Jancic with 2. Alan Elwood is locked in. He's got nothing to lose. Jancic, he's got his teammate right behind him, and his teammate wants that playoff spot for sure. We'll see how this thing plays out. At the line, it is going to be 5 laps to go here in the regular season.
Green flag, green flag.
Big jump once again from the 5, and he's going to clear the field. Now the question is, can the 97 get to the inside? He cannot. Can the 90 get around that 25 and get himself down to the bottom? Right now he can. He pushes up, and he's going to lose some spots here, just getting a little bit too aggressive. 3 wide, he's into the wall, and that could be the end of the playoff hopes here for the 90. Going to fall all the way back to 10th place, and he's going to need a miracle or a mistake from the 97 right now, who has already lost that position for second to the 3 of Therian. We've got a yellow. It's going to bunch him back up. And why not add a little drama? Why not go a little overtime racing here tonight? We'll see what happened here with Josh Van Weston. Just getting up there kind of in between the seams there. Gets a little bit loose. Slides it sideways. Brings under another caution here. So we're going to go more than 130 laps for regular season finale. Still got some spots up there for grabs, and let's see if we're going to have if Kevin Foster, or he did get a wave around, or if he's going to get the wave around. If that puts him back on the lead lap. If not, we'll have 11 drivers on the lead lap. Foster is back on the lead lap. I know certainly we always have some Foster fans out there watching this thing. But yeah, I mean, unfortunately, it's just Martinsville. This thing is, in my opinion, one of the toughest short tracks there are. I mean, I know me and Jimmy always rag on Martinsville and how much we hate the track, and it's not blowing smoke. We don't like the track. Plain and simply, it's not a fun track to drive, and a lot of times it's not a fun track to broadcast because there's so many cautions that end up coming out, and it's I can't necessarily blame the drivers too much on this thing because it's been rough. I mean, there's been a lot of cautions here tonight with the driver just getting loose, and we've seen it all throughout the field. Doesn't matter where you're at. I mean, there's certainly been some mix-ups here and some rough driving from a couple of the drivers, but ultimately there's been probably half of these cautions have been from drivers just getting sideways and the rear stepping out on them. So yeah, we'll see how this thing plays out. But yeah, I don't think the review is going to be too fun or too quick for sure on this one before we can settle this thing out here. But as it stands, we're going to get this thing ready to go. One more time, some overtime racing here at Martinsville. Still got the yellow lights on, should be going out this time by, and we'll get a green, white, checkered, at least our first attempt here to get this thing completed. These car lights are out. It's going to be Elwood and Therian on the front row. Jancic, Stoneman, and Hines going to round out the top 5. Then you got Crockett, Bramble, Phelps, Reiner, and Collins rounding out that top 10. Who's going to grab the last spot here in the gold division for the playoffs? Who's going to grab the last win of the regular season and carry a little bit more bonus points into those playoffs as well? We're about to find out here. Green, white, checkered time at the paperclip. It's in the hands of the 5. He's on the loud pedal. Not wasting any time. We're racing here. A rough start on the outside from Therian. Going to give up that inside to Jancic as they're going to do battle for second place. Hines and Stoneman battling for 4th as well. Looks like Jancic's going to cover the inside off. Stoneman gives him a little shot there in the back end. White flag in the air one more time around. Stoneman looks to the inside, trying to get that final spot on the podium. Inside here of Jancic down the backstretch. They bump a little bit. It's going to cause enough of a wobble that the 25 going to fall back there. The 60 of Hines trying to grab one more spot, but at the front, Alan Elwood going to get win number 6 on the season. Shane Therian, Craig Jancic, Jack Stoneman, and Kenny Hines going to complete the top 5. But more importantly for Jancic, more likely than not, that is going to lock him in to the 5th spot in the playoffs here for the gold division. But man, it was not easy for any of these drivers out there for sure. We'll take a look at the final results and get a rundown of the race results here tonight. It is Alan Elwood, your winner. Shane Therian, Craig Jancic, Jack Stoneman, Kenny Hines for the top 5. Good run by Matt Crockett, finishing just outside the top 5 in 6th. Tyler Bramble, Bryce Reiner, Dan Phelps, again a good run by him for both qualifying and the race, finishing in 9th. Josh Van Weston rounding out the top 10. Then Caleb Collins, Kevin Foster, Luis Orduna, Daniel Wiles, AJ Roderick, Dave Tilford, John Crane, John Nominger, Jeremy Gainey, and Nico Garcia going to round out that top 10. Alan Elwood burning it down here on the victory laps right here, and certainly well deserved. Again, he's had a heck of a season so far. Now 6 wins. Gonna be a nice little bonus here to start the playoffs, and really regardless gonna be a good shot and a tough way to knock him out in the first round of the playoffs before we get to those championship races. So it's certainly not a lock for the top 3, but man, it's going to be tough to put him down there in 4th or 5th out of these 5 drivers. But you got to tune in next week as we will start the playoff racing here for the CORE Xfinity Series. Again, that is all going to kick off at. Where's my train of thought here? Yeah, it's going to kick off at Phoenix next week. There it is. So Phoenix next week for 90 laps. Again, 4 races for the playoff round. 1 race will get dropped from those drivers, so only the top 3 races will count, and those top 3 from each of the divisions will head on to the championship race at the Auto Club. It's been a heck of a regular season so far, and I am sure a lot of these drivers, myself included, are happy to be done with Martinsville and head off to the desert out there in Phoenix. But for now, I'm going to head over to UCRL. For you drivers and fans, do the same as well and check out UCRL at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. For myself and Jimmy here at Martinsville, we'll see you at the track.